Trump guilty, y'all. On all 34 counts. They out there rallied up. You already know his supporters out there rallied up. You know his supporters saying they railroaded him. Whew. Ain't no time like the present to say what I say. Look, I'm trying to be nosy at the same time because I didn't know why the news was on. I didn't know why the news was on. I looked up because I'm in my phone um, watching a podcast and playing on my game. I'm watching the podcast, playing on my game, and I see the news come on right before 5 o'clock. And I don't pay it no mind because I'm like, okay, maybe it's a news break, but they don't even do news breaks like that. Maybe it's a news break. And then I look, and I'm like, this is the longest news break I ever seen. And that's when I had muted it because I'm like, okay, I don't know what they talking about. I hadn't even read um, the caption. But then I looked around and saw verdict. I think I couldn't see verdict because something is blocking it in front. Something I have sitting up as decoration is blocking it, so I ain't see verdict. Not the whole word. I saw the end of verdict. Um, but it was something about the New York trials. I hadn't even I skipped all over that it was Trump name. Like, pay attention to detail, child. Pay attention to detail. Y'all see, I'm rough right now. I'm rough. Um, look, I told this story before. I believe that God told me to vote for Trump. It is what it is. I believe, and that is not because, and God knows how I feel about how I felt about Donald Trump, and you know, somebody said something the other day. I want to say it was Anthony Bryan Logan because I watch Republicans, I watch some Democrats, I watch different things. I watch all kinds of different things when I'm on YouTube. Um, but I think it was Anthony Bryan Logan was saying that before Donald Trump ran for president, ain't nobody have a problem with him. And I had to sit back. Look, the God has been having me sitting back pondering on some things and some stuff. I had to sit back and ponder on that and say, well, yeah, Lord, I can't say I was a Trump fan. I didn't know anything about the Central Park things. I can say that I was ignorant about some things. I just know I watched Apprentice and I liked Apprentice. I did. Like, I don't just be out there just, I ain't even gonna say that. Because one of the other things that the God had to just, I watched that video and it was talking about Michael Jackson and his music and it being evil. And I'll say this, the God has already spoken to my spirit that the scale of music that we're on, the solfeggio scale, if y'all go look it up, you'll see it. The solfeggio scale of music is a scale of music that is peace and healing and things like that. The scale of music that we are on now is not. But what I want people to stop doing is acting like the church ain't in it, like all of the music in the church is pure. That's what people have to stop doing because that ain't even the case. Deacon Washington, y'all know I be talking about Deacon Washington. It's not all it's not all pure. So I had to think about it. And then they played that whoo, Jesus. Then they played the daggone verse from We Are the World, and that just blew my mind. Cause it was talking about, Jesus turning the stone into bread. And y'all know he was like, get thee behind me, Satan, like you can't live off bread alone. So I had to think about that. When I voted for Trump, I voted for Trump because I wasn't gonna vote at all. I have conversations with God. Call it what you want, believe how you want. I have conversations. Wasn't gonna vote at all. Okay, God, you want me to vote? You have to let me know without a shadow of a doubt. Because not only did I have a problem with Donald Trump, I had a problem with the person that was running as his opponent. Was it Hillary Clinton at that point, I think? Who he run against? No, did he run against Joe Biden in 20? Because it was 20 when I voted for him. That was Joe Biden. Yeah, that was Joe Biden. So yeah, because that was when Joe Biden was out there talking about some but I ain't want Hillary Clinton to be the president either. Whoo, Jesus. Um, but that was Joe Biden out there talking about you ain't black if you don't vote for me. And a lot of black people that might not be on social media didn't hear things like that. I said that to my uncle. My uncle was like, I ain't know nothing about that. Yeah. I watched the video. It wasn't no fake. Pretty much the people that I watch, for the most part, are reputable. But I go back and I check. Every now and then I slip up. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. But my whole question is, because I know since I've been doing this, I've been able to see things in a different light, with a different understanding. Y'all know I be talking about understanding of this piece. Welcome, 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 y'all. I don't know if I said that because this trial threw me. This news just threw me for such a loop. Welcome, 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 y'all. Like, share, and subscribe. Came up here looking busted and everything, but I said, God, like, if you want me to vote, you're gonna have to send me a without a shadow of a doubt. And my without a shadow of a doubt, in my opinion, and people probably not gonna like what I'm up here saying, but this is, look, I, God will use the foolish things to what it is, the foolish things to confound the wise, or something to that effect. Don't quote me on that one, but look up foolish and confound on Google. It'll take you to the verse. I think that's so. I ain't gonna try to make nobody understand my vantage point, my viewpoint. But I also was, anybody that know me know, if I believe God said it wholeheartedly, and it take a lot, God has had to teach me how not to be pushed off the cliff when saying things to me. How not to be pushed off the cliff. What I do know, that what I did see is a lot of people that after I voted for President Donald Trump at the time, or to be President Donald Trump at that time, before I voted, it was this first and foremost. Um, Somebody asked me, look, normally when people that are trying to register you to vote, when they come up to me, they ask me, am I registered to vote? They ask me, are you registered to vote? They ask you that at the DMV. They ask you that when they walk in the streets. I have never in life once been asked, have you changed your address to vote? I was like, Lord, that lady don't know me. Not for real, she don't know me. She don't know me from Adam. We was volunteers at a food bank together. And I loved her dearly. We was volunteers at a food bank together. And the woman that I was staying with at that point, because that was during my homelessness, the woman that I was staying with at that point, she ain't know if I was registered to vote. She ain't know if I was registered to vote. And it was so much Trump hate. Like, I stopped watching the news. God is reprogramming me back to the news, because that was a charge from God back in 2004. Watch the news when I believe that God is telling me. Everybody be like, I don't want to watch the news. I didn't want to watch it either. What I feel like I can handle, I try to handle, because there are times, plenty, when God got to help me, because it feels like it's outside of me. Ain't nothing impossible, but sometimes some things feel like it. So if I don't feel like it's impossible and I can do it with no struggle, I do it. And one thing for sure and two things for certain, news wasn't easy. It was a struggle, because I didn't like watching news. It had to become a habit. A habit in which I brought my daughters in on, because we prayed together every night. And so I wanted us to take one thing that we saw on the news, good, bad, and then there's not always a lot of good things that go on the news, no, but sometimes there be some good stuff. Good, bad. It don't even have to come off the news if you had something during your day. But I believed wholeheartedly once I began to discipline myself with watching the news, it was because God wanted me praying. And I did that for years. We did that for years. We brought my mother into it before she passed away. And that was per my daughter. We brought my mother into it. She began to, and she loved it. She wanted it. I ain't know. I wasn't trying to bother her. My mother came to me a year and a half before she passed away because she was terminally ill. We had been estranged. I didn't want to feel like I was bothering her. I wasn't going to leave her in her situation. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to, even in my house, I wanted to give her space. I never like to feel like I'm bothering people, even in my house. I didn't want to feel like I was bothering my mother. So when my daughter mentioned it to me, I'm like, okay, cool. And I went and I presented it to my mother, and she was like, cool. And so we started doing that. I watched the news good up until that presidential election in 2020 because everything you heard, God never wants us to have a mindset where we can't even see the other side. You don't have to believe the other side. You don't have to support the other side. You can't even see the other side. I believe that's a problem with God. I'm certain. Look, I just came up here impromptu, but I'm certain I can find scripture. Understanding means that your mind has to be open to something different. Even something that people would seem like it's so horrible because anybody, and I have heard this with some of the Republicans that I watch, anybody that deals in a Republican manner is a coon. That's all I've ever heard. I didn't even know nothing about it until I came on social media like talking about it. And I'm not saying that that is not the case sometimes. I'm not saying that that is not the case. But what it says, when there is a thought process in a person's mind that I can't do something opposite of what you do, is you control what I do. Where they do that at? No. That's not how any of this works. That dude got guilty on 34 counts. He's a convicted felon. And look, God, look, I read it in the Quran and I read it in the Bible. I just read it in the Bible today. In Psalms, I think I was reading. God will let you sit in your mess. And a lot of people's mess sometimes looks very glorious to certain people. I said his supporters is out there. I am the person that, look, I'm going to do what I believe God say do. But I'm not going to, I can't not see. I can't not see who Donald Trump is. You ain't nobody never heard me come up one time. I voted Republican, which I have the choice because it's a party. And then when I voted in in the local elections after that, I voted bipartisan. Too many times we're not gonna see God's face. Plenty of us probably don't know if God wanted us to vote for Donald Trump back then or not, because we had decided within us that we weren't gonna do it, because he ain't look the part. And then look what you got. And I just say that because I hear a lot of people complaining about the administration that is in there, that y'all voted in there. We like to get what we want and then complain when what we want is not what we want. What we thought we wanted. That was a bright light that just came in. Ooh, it's over there too. Look, I have windows to the left of me, windows to the right of me, windows in front of me. I was just talking with somebody the other day. There's a lot of windows in here. I like it though. I like to see the daylight, but it's not great lighting. But like I said, I wasn't planning on doing this. Like I'm the person that wants to see people punished for anything they did, but I'm, but I'm not the person that wants to see people punished for what they didn't do. And it's a person out there that's like that as well. It's a person out there that's like that. They want to see people. Okay, say somebody had did something in the past, and it was a horrible something. You're supposed to be punished for a horrible something. But sometimes when you got money, 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 it don't always work like that. And because we be so glorified by the fame, I don't care if we black, we white, because there's people that's glorified by his fame, but who won't glorified by Michael Jackson's fame? Who, it was a numerous amount of people. That man on that post said, it was a numerous amount of people. And I didn't go listen to that post and was like, oh Lord, I don't love Michael Jackson no more. You can't turn off what you feel for people, even if they strangers. You cannot just turn off what you feel for people, and God ain't called you to hate nobody. Anywho. But he was like, he said when they accused him of the boys, it was Michael Jackson. So Michael Jackson didn't do that. And there was people that felt like he did. But when he got off, a remnant of people, like, no, not Michael Jackson, not Michael Jackson. But we don't know these people. We don't know what they're capable of. But one thing I've always said about Donald Trump, I've done a study on it. I've been doing this. Before I even started cutting up shorts, I was doing this on Facebook. Like I've been doing this for a little bit. 2016 or 17 is when I started. I was living with my daughters when I started, but um, I talked about that before. Um, Lord, I done lost my train of thought. Oh, that Donald Trump don't hide his hand. He don't hide his hand. But we be so taken aback by the people that may hide their hand and so it looks good. All things that look good ain't good. But oh, I was saying that earlier. God will allow you to be in your mess, and the mess may look good to people. We be enthralled in the fame, enthralled in the power, enthralled in the money, whatever we be enthralled in. And I know it's the whole heck of people that probably is not thinking about Donald Trump in that way, but it is people that feel that way about Donald Trump. Same way it's people that are still defending uh Diddy. It, as long as you're doing that, you're gonna be taken. But all the while, God is like, I'm gonna let them do what they do. And then I talked about that kite. I talked about that kite to go up, and then it come down. Cause God will snatch the rug from under you right quick. Play with thee, God. I said, y'all had best remember that what the study said. I ain't say it. The study did. Y'all had best remember Adam and Eve and them fallen angels. Anytime you try to elevate, God will show you. In God's time, not in our time. You know that sometimes is the skepticism of the Most High as well. Why God let all that bad stuff happen? I can't even say that I can answer that question. What I can't, the best way that I can answer that question without some scripture in front of me, and scripture could leave some folks confused. I ain't even trying to be funny. But the best way that I can answer that question is we love being able to make the choices that we make. When we make them, whether they good, bad, or indifferent, we love, for the most part, we love being able to make the choices that we make. You're grown to everybody else, even if you ain't grown, because there's some children strong-minded. I was one. Beats. Beats. No beats for me. Very strong-minded. Could nobody really tell me what to do? My mother told me what to do, but if I had my mind set on something, especially about something I wasn't going to eat, I have an issue with textures. I had my mind set on I wasn't going to eat it, I wasn't going to eat it. So we want to be in this utopia where nothing bad happens at all, ever, but we want to make choices and I can put it with the skeptics. I can put this with the Christians. I can put this with any old person on this earth. We want to make every choice that we want to make to do what we want to do, when we want to do it, how we want to do it, especially if we grown, and we feel like we were suppressed as children. You really could be grown in. Can't nobody tell you what to do sometimes. God said, go on, do that. It's the same way we put levels on this stuff. That I'm grown mentality is so strong and so big and so wide. That is the epitome of good and evil. The fact of the matter is, oh they gone off. The fact of the matter is, it's good and evil. It's good and evil. And we only think about it when we feel like something is eviler than what we did a lot of times. I'm gonna keep checking up on what God say do. Whether it be, there was nothing in the word that could have ever told me. There was nothing in the Bible that could have ever told me vote for Donald Trump. That's why I say some things don't come from the Bible. Some things come from a still small voice. I didn't come up here come like, oh my God, Donald Trump shouldn't be going to jail. Heck no, I ain't. And it didn't even say he's going to jail. I don't like to put my mouth on people. I don't like to put my mouth on nobody. I like for the justice to handle itself the way it handled itself. I want people to be punished for the things that they do. And they're not always punished in the eyes of the law. They're not always punished in the eyes of the law. So I don't know what's going down. That dude got 34 counts against 34 counts he found guilty on. I think was it money fraud? I think that's what it said. So we'll see what's next, because that wasn't no sentencing. That was just a verdict. So if they're going to sentence him, they have to do that part. Look, baby girl been doing that all day. And I adjusted it, and it still be wanting to fall. I guess I need to get me one of them things, them new ones, them new Fandango bras that be coming online, because they look very comfortable. They look very comfortable. Look like the straps ain't gonna be falling down off your shoulder like these have done all my life. I don't care. I adjusted them because she been pulling them up all day. So gentle. I said, let me try to adjust them so she stopped feeling like she got a job. That's my little helper. That is my little helper, buddy. Like, she is so helpful in everything. I told her we're gonna make spaghetti tomorrow. Well, I told her we're gonna make Getty because that's how she pronounces it. So I told her we're gonna do that tomorrow. She likes to cook in the kitchen, but I let her help me do everything though. I let her help me do most everything. I've let her help me wash dishes, wash clothes, because she wants to help do everything. I ain't gonna let her help me do nothing dangerous. Like, I don't be letting her cut up the cheese because we like to eat cheese and peppers. Do you know that little thing? Do y'all know that little thing told me she does it all the time? Told me. I said, do you want cheese? When I went in there and fixed our cheese and pepper, do you want cheese? No. I cut up her peppers because I have to cut the tops with the baby bell peppers, the little triangular cone-shaped ones. And I have to cut off the top because if I don't cut off that top, she's going to bite that pepper one time and waste the rest of it because the seeds are at the top. So I cut the top off and sliced them down the middle to make sure that I could de-seed all of them. She got me eating the peppers. I was not eating the peppers before her. But oh, so I do that. I go in there, I cut my cheese up because I have asked her 3 or 4 times, you sure you don't want cheese? Don't come to me once I go sit down with my plate and say, I want cheese. I have cheese. She comes in here, begins to eat her peppers, and comes over here to me and says, I have cheese. No, you don't, because you did not want any cheese, and I'm not getting up to go fix you any cheese. I have cheese. So I gave her a piece of my cheese. This is G's World. Facebook knows a little bit about G's World. My friends on Facebook. I don't just share her stuff. I know. I don't just share her stuff. Well, I did today. The running video was her. And that's because I had no clue that I was taping the first part, and the second part you just saw her back. So me and her parents have discussed that. That's all that I would ever do. But yes, 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 y'all. The source that I wanted was to come up here and say that they done found Trump guilty on all 34 counts. All 34 counts. Donald Trump has been found guilty. Y'all go on, like and share and subscribe today. And I am out.